Hi, my name is Jenna Grossbarth, and this is my submission for the WSEY Environmental Program at George Mason. So what I'm going to be showing you today is my full internal assessment for International Baccalaureate Environmental Systems and Societies class. So the project was to test the effect of ground pollutant on grass, and most people ended up going with a liquid pollutant. So my pollutants were the water, the control, blue Gatorade, canola oil, Windex, and rubbing alcohol. So I set up this lab with 50 grams of soil and 5 grams of seed, and all of these got the same amount of liquid, same time, same exposure to sunlight, same cup, same seed, and same soil. And just a little thing, you can also see if you can see that. I cut a little hole in the bottom to simulate drainage, because if I did not, the liquids would just build up in the cup. So every Monday and Friday I would pollute with the respective ground pollutants with this graduated cylinder. And every Tuesday and Thursday I would water them to simulate the same amount of rain and pollutant that a regular ground that near a factory would get. So I tried to be as accurate as possible after the failure of my first experiment. So after 2 weeks of my 3 weeks of this lab, I can conclude that, of course, the water was the best growth, and I'll show a close-up here. Because a plant needs water, oxygen, sunlight, CO2, and it got all of these things, and nothing was preventing it from growing. The blue Gatorade, I had a hope that this would turn blue because of the dye in the water, but this did germinate a little behind the water, and it grew just as fast, but I guess the dye was stopping it a little bit. And so, because it was, the main ingredient was water, there was nothing stopping it from growing. The canola oil, you can see there's a little growth in there. Not as much as the water or the blue Gatorade, but there is enough. I think because that it was being watered twice a week, the canola oil only hindered it a little bit in germinating and then growing. Now, there's nothing in the Windex right now, but I did have one stem of grass that was very weak because of the pollutant in Windex. It says it's eco-friendly, but I don't think they meant dropping it directly into the ground. So there was one little blade of grass, and then it died, actually, today, so I can say that the growth is 0. And the rubbing alcohol it actually had no chance because of the bacteria-killing items in the rubbing alcohol that's meant to prevent infections from getting into open wounds. So without bacteria, it wouldn't have gone through the nitrogen cycle at all, and so nothing grew in this at all. So every time I water or pollute, I would measure with this ruler. And on weekends, I wouldn't do anything at all. And on Wednesdays, everything was left the same, but I would still measure. So that's my full internal assessment for my International Baccalaureate Environmental Systems and Societies lab. And I hope you find this relevant to the weekly event.